Now it's time to welcome our second speaker, Tamarakhonum Davlatova, who is a senior student at Nazarbayev University majoring in anthropology. We are reminding our guests that there is a link on our social media accounts through which you can ask questions to our speakers. Please remain respectful in your choice of words.
Құрметті қонақтар, сіздердің үшін E.Quality Talks Инстаграмы мен Вики парақшасында спикерлерімізге аноним түрде сұрақ қоюға арналатын сілтеме бар екен, естеріңізге саламыз.
Hello everyone, my name is Tamarakhonum and I'm a senior student at Nazarbayev University majoring in anthropology. And I'm here and the reason why I'm here today is because I am a proud queer Uzbek Kazakh cis woman. But it got me a while to get to the proud part. That's why I'm sharing my story today. And the story is mine, and it is personal. So please understand why I'm nervous. And that is why I'm using the stand so I won't fall. But I'm mostly excited, so let's get started. And right away, I would like to explain why I use the term queer. It is often referred to as an umbrella term for all of us rainbow people. But I use it personally to say that when it comes to romantic relationships, gender is irrelevant for me. And it is as simple as that. Well, not that simple. It took me a while to get to this term. And now I would like to share how I got here. Growing up in Aqtoube, in Uzbek and Kazakh military family, as a queer cis girl that I was, as long as I can remember, I always wanted to know who I am. I was not Kazakh, and I was not Uzbek, and I was not straight, and I was not a boy. So I was struggling with an idea that there was something utterly wrong with me. It was an extremely isolating experience, but it became a clarifying one. The age of 12 was the first time when I saw that I might like girls. I couldn't ask anyone if that was all right to like a girl. I knew that it wasn't. Liking girls was a part of my identity that I couldn't accept. And I always felt like my feelings were wrong. So where did it leave me? Fascinatingly, it left me extremely homophobic, which meant that I hated myself wholeheartedly. I remember having discussions in my class about LGBTQ issues and consciously saying that I don't associate myself with them. Why would you even ask? And the age of 12 was also the time when my father's Uzbek family wanted me to get into the arranged marriage with my first cousin, which obviously enraged my mother's side of the family. This situation was resolved with a huge scandal, and that is when I understood how both sides of my family were extremely conservative, traditional, and heteronormative. I believe that shaped my views in a way that I am struggling with internalized homophobia even now. But the light came through to me when I was 14. I saw a positive representation of queer people on TV for the first time. Grey's Anatomy, yay! Opening up to the ideas that were outside of my comfort zone created a safe space for me to explore who I am. It brought me comfort to be aware of the stories that were the same as mine and nothing like mine. And I gazed at people on the other side of the world who lived their life as they were, unapologetically. I was introduced to the ideas that my vocabulary simply couldn't reach, and people who were breaking the boundaries of what human life could be. That year was the year when it became crystal clear for me how not straight I am. And I started to rebel against the social norms by cutting and coloring my hair that drove my mother wild, but this is how I was seeking freedom. I didn't want people to assume anything about me, not my gender, not my sexual orientation. I wanted to become a person. People thought that I was confused, and I knew that they couldn't understand. When I transferred to a different school in 9th grade, I expected a life where I could finally become me, to come into myself without anyone's pressure, to come out even. I was coming to terms with my mind and my sexual orientation. I found moments when I was comfortable in my skin. However, I was bombarded with a policy of wearing a white blouse, a skirt, and black tights in that school. I was no longer allowed to color my hair either. While in middle school it was complex to navigate my sexual orientation, high school was almost insufferable with perpetuating stereotypes and policing gender. That was also the time when my Instagram handle read, "Is that Tomadi?" as if I was questioning who I was with every post. And once my friend read it as, "Is that too mad?" And I thought that must have been fate, that I was questioning who I was and how mad I was about it. And sometimes still am. And I'm glad I had my friends at my side though. I was lonely at times, but I was never alone. And that was also the time when I dated a lot of boys. Well, not a lot, just some. Because I thought that was something that I was supposed to do. And internalized homophobia was really intense too. But everything changed the moment I started my education at the university. My life changed in countless unpredictable ways. I met wonderful people, professors, students, and counselors who have helped me to navigate through the questions that I had and have. These amazing people realized early on that I needed resources, I needed knowledge. They provided a safe space for me, a judgment-free zone where I could ask questions and my concerns were heard. From that point on, I was able to make decisions about my body that were truly fitting me and were not influenced by heteronormativity, because my experience doesn't fall under the category of normative. And that's when I shaved my head. Side note, shaving your head doesn't solve all of your problems. And this is also the time when I came out. But don't get me wrong, my time in the closet was not wasteful at all. I fold clothes very well. Like, ask anyone, it is my special skill. I do it extremely well. But I knew it was time. I knew it was time to come out. So I came out to everyone. I came out to my friends, to my family, to my professors even, because I was so excited to be free. And some people accepted me, and some people didn't. For instance, I came out to my parents at the ages of 18, 19, 21, and 22. Each time I would say, "Mom, Dad, I like girls." And I know it's not the whole truth, but it was my way of saying that I'm not straight. And each time was more traumatizing than the previous one. So I guess it is safe to say that they do not accept me. Both of my parents are unaccepting of the path that I'm on right now, and they never were, and perhaps they will never be. And I'm okay with that. Except for my brother, everyone in my family is up and ready to disown me the moment I will do something as outrageous as date anyone but men. They are waiting for me to say that it's a phase. Well, it isn't. But even if my family doesn't accept me, here at the university, I have an amazing group of friends who didn't think twice when I came out. They wholeheartedly accepted me and celebrated me. And some of these friends are other queer students like me. And we became a chosen family for each other. We support each other and we try to help each other out. We even had a cake that read, "Let's be honest, I'm gay." And for that, I'm truly thankful to this university that allowed me to meet these amazing people, and that are with me through through hardships and the highest of highs, like today. But it would be a lie to say that I didn't encounter homophobia here on campus. I am blasted with it in Vatriume. I see people looking at me sometimes strangely. I have heard countless homophobic remarks in and outside of the classroom. And I even heard countless inappropriate questions about my sex life. And it hurts, and it's hard to brush it off. I have not encountered physical violence, thankfully, but I have heard extremely terrifying ways that men can say, "You just haven't met the right guy." I have a myriad of precautions when I go to a gay bar with my friends. And I'm certain that this is also part of the reason why I'm depressed these days, because homophobia is hard and internalized homophobia is destructive. But I wouldn't want to leave you on the sad note, because my life is anything but sad. I actually feel brave, feel courageous to be here right now, to be open and to be proud. There are a lot of people before me, and a lot of people will come after me who will tell you how much easier it is to breathe when you don't have to lie about yourself. You don't have to conform. You don't have to talk about gender neutrally about the person that you love, because love is love, and it cannot be killed or swept aside. So for any of you who might feel lonely on this path, just know that there are people who are willing to stand by you. I am willing to stand by you. And in conclusion, I just wanted to say that I was suffocating before, and now I can breathe. So I am here, I am queer, so get used to it. Thank you.
Благодарим Тамархонум за ее познавательную речь. А теперь настало время для вопросов и ответов.
Now let's proceed to Q&A.
Dear guests, if you have questions, please raise your hand and my colleague will come to you and help you to ask.
Well, first of all, thank you very much for the incredibly inspiring speech. I am sort of jittery of excitement right now. And
Thank you.
Thank you. And if you all don't mind, I would like to ask two questions, actually, if that's not a problem. First of them is going to be actually like a little meta. I was also wondering why did you choose this particular vehicle to communicate these ideas that is a personal story? Like, what is the importance of a personal story and the fact that you're sharing it in communicating these great big ideas that were the conclusion, right? And the second question is, well, as you decided to share such a personal story, I hope you don't mind me asking a rather personal question. And if you don't feel comfortable with that, obviously you cannot answer that. But I was also wondering, I sort of noticed that your journey through the realization of your inner self was sort of correspondent with body transformations, I could probably say, like dyeing your hair, shaving your hair, maybe some clothes. And I would also want to ask, now when you stand in front of us on the stage, realizing that you're a queer, Uzbek, Kazakh cisgender woman, how do you manifest that, and what is the correct body performance of that? Thank you very much.
Yeah, I decided to share my personal story because it is mine and I don't want to speak for other people. And I also wanted to share it because LGBTQ community is often anonymous, is invisible in a sense. And when you connect stories to the people, I think it has its impact. I hope it does. Yeah, I think this is why I chose to talk about myself, like about my personal story. And yeah, I don't know. I have a weird relationship with my hair. It's just it always was a thing. I don't know. I think throughout this, throughout the 5 years of the university, I think people saw me with like blue hair and being a blonde and like shaving my hair and being bald. And I don't know. I think I took a lot of gender classes and I became confused with all of the gender binaries and social norms. And I was just so upset that they exist. So I wanted to undo them in all the ways that I thought I could. Yeah.
Any other questions from our audience? Okay, then allow me to announce one of the questions that came us through the forum. What does queer mean?
Well, in the beginning, I said that queer is often used as an umbrella term for all of the LGBTQ community. And yeah, queer is complex. And it has a long-standing history, and I think Professor Alpert will say, like, she has more to say about the word queer, how it was, how we took it, basically how we took it back as a community. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for your answer.
Добрый вечер. Я надеюсь, могу говорить на русском, верно?
Yes,
Я хотела спросить, ты говорила, что у тебя были моменты депрессии, вот, когда ты делала камин-аут и все другие моменты в твоей жизни. Как ты справлялась со своей депрессией? У тебя вот есть советы, которые ты можешь посоветовать другим тоже людям, у которых такие же проблемы?
Что я могу сказать сейчас, что я не справилась со своей депрессией еще, она все еще у меня есть, и я борюсь с ней каждый день. И у нас замечательный центр, и я работаю с психологом, с психотерапевтом, с психиатрами. То есть для меня это очень важно, то есть ментальное здоровье для меня это очень важно, и я ставлю его в первую очередь. И по этой причине я ставлю в известность своих профессоров о том, что у меня есть какие-то сложности. По этой причине я могу сказать своим друзьям, что у меня нет ресурсов, и они понимают абсолютно точно, что это значит. И, то есть, если депрессия очень изолирует, но я просто хочу сказать, что не изолируйте себя и ищите помощь, и ищите ее во всех ее проявлениях с друзьями, с семьей, с психологами.
Спасибо.
Thank you for being open. У меня есть пару вопросов из нашей Google формы. Есть ли какие-либо советы по поводу каминг-аута?
Мне кажется, каминг-аут — это для всех персональный опыт, и он у всех разный. И я знаю много случаев, когда каминг-аут происходил очень не очень, и когда он проходил достаточно нормально. И на самом деле для меня каминг-аут это было просто, я не могла больше держать это в себе. Мне казалось, что я вру самой себе о том, кто я есть, и поэтому я решила, что мне нужно завершить каминг-аут. Поэтому я решила, что мне нужно быть честной с собой, и мне нужно быть честной с окружающими. И уже, да, я не могла больше держать это в себе.
Okay, and another question that we have received says, how is it important to follow right terms?
What do you mean by right terms?
Unfortunately, that is not clarified. Maybe you can... Yeah, maybe terminology? Proper names?
Yeah, proper names, pronouns, they're very important. And I think that if a person tells you that they identify as whoever they identify, we should respect that. And it is very important because reclaiming the word queer and reclaiming our identities is a hard process. And it is very nice when people recognize that and they use the right terms. Yeah.
Thank you for answering all those questions.
Thank you so much for having me. Yeah.